For some, seeing is believing. I hope this is a real eye-opener and shows you that the Bible is truth and that it should be taken quite literally. In the area surrounding the 7 churches found in Revelation, you'll find artifacts that can reveal some startling revelations. 1,000-year-old tombstones that have a story to tell. That story is repeated in cathedral paintings and other artifacts, some dating back to within 100 years of the time of Christ. Also in this area is a place called Cappadocia, and as impressive as it looks on the outside, it's when you go inside. The things you'll see will help you understand some of the stories in the Bible a little bit better, and also give you clues of things that may have been forgotten over time. And these clues can be easily understood if you remember these rules. Jesus said, "All things must be fulfilled, written in the law of Moses, in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me." If it concerns him, it must be fulfilled. If you apply these rules, it's quite simple to figure out when the crucifixion really happened. And once you understand a Wednesday crucifixion, you'll see there's only 2 dates possible. And if we look at the date in the red, all we have to do is set our stellarium in Jerusalem, looking west, on that day, about 3 p.m. Set your magnitude level to -1 and turn off the sun. And you'll see what the Roman centurion saw. Note that that is Jupiter on the cross, same planet as the child. In the Revelation 12 sign, again, here's the artifact depicting the 7 stars above the crucifixion from about 300 AD. Here's a close-up of that, and we'll see a bit later that I think this was very cleverly done. But imagine for a moment that you're the centurion standing before the cross, and you look up and you see this. Could this explain where the idea of the halo came from? Maybe. I just wanted to show you that there are many artifacts that seem to back up this theory, and maybe help you understand why the Roman centurion said, truly, this was the Son of God. To understand what the centurion saw, you can see the video, Signs in Heaven, the crucifixion, for his perspective. But what we want to look at is, what did the Psalms reader notice? Because in Psalms 22, we have the 5th account of the crucifixion, and it was written 1,000 years prior to the event. And in Psalms 22, you find these prophecies, which were all fulfilled at the crucifixion. But Jesus said, "All things must be fulfilled, written in the Psalms concerning me." And when he says all things, that means all things. And in Psalm 22, it says, "Many bulls have compassed me, strong bulls of Bashan have beset me round." Now, when I read the word Bashan, I think of King Og. he was a giant. And in the heavens above, beset him around, was a giant bull. You might not realize what you're looking at. Try this. The Aleph and the Tav. That's the first and the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Or in the Greek, the Alpha and the Omega. The first and the last, the beginning and the end. Looks very similar to those cave paintings, doesn't it? And then we read, "For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierce my hands and my feet." You guessed it, Canis Major, Canis Minor, Ursa Major. Compassed him around. Now I know Ursa Major is a bear, but bears are considered dog-like. And in Psalm 22, it says, "Save me from the lion's mouth." And there's Leo. It goes on to say, "For thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorns." And I can guarantee you, this was the only unicorn present at the crucifixion. Can you hear me now? So, what are the odds? Every animal mentioned in Psalm 22 positioned in the heavens exactly as described 1,000 years before the event. And there are the constellations of Psalm 22 plus 1. We'll get to that one. But notice the focal point. And that all occurred on Wednesday, April 25th, in the year 31 AD. The only time ever the Old Testament, New Testament, signs in heaven all synchronized perfectly to reveal the date of the crucifixion beyond a doubt. And if we subtract 33.5 years and look at the morning of September 5th, 2 BC, which just happens to be the 25th of Elul on the Hebrew calendar, that's the anniversary of the day God said, "Let there be light." And I believe that's when Jesus was born. In Genesis chapter 49, we're told, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be." Now you know Judah's the lion, and we know the wise men saw his star in the east. If you set your stellarium east of Jerusalem, about where that red box is, on the morning of the 5th of September, 2 BC, this is what you'll see. And a closer look, you'll see the scepter, which is made up of Jupiter and the moon. The moon eclipses Jupiter. Jupiter emerges, and the king is born. Because Jesus is the light of the world. He said so. That's known as the seal of the Magi, or the coat of arms of the Magi. It also appears on Roman coins from the 1st and 2nd century BC, and that's 500 years before the birth of Islam. It's also cleverly depicted in that artifact from about the year 300. So, if he was born at the same time of the star, he died at the same time as the sign, chances are he's coming back at the same time of the sign. Jesus is coming, and he's coming soon. And you should notice that in Luke chapter 17, Jesus says to remember Lot's wife. I think he's telling us don't look back. We're also told to be silent before the Lord. Just giving a little rapture advice. Hope it helps. Now about that constellation at the foot of the cross. In Genesis chapter 3, God is speaking to the serpent. And it says, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. And you'll see the bottom star is on the head of this serpent constellation. That star is Mercury. It represents the foot. It's on the head of Cetus. You'll find that Cetus is a Greek sea monster. And there's only one sea monster mentioned in the Bible. And that's in Revelation chapter 13. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea. Get my meaning? Anyway, hope to see you soon.